welcome to Cooking with Mama Bear. I'm your host, Mama Bear, and today we're going to make something called ghetto donuts. And you might think, what is that? If you watch along, you'll see in a second. They are so good. Okay, before we even start, make sure that you ask your parent or guardian, can you cook in the kitchen? And when they say, yeah, you cook in the kitchen, then you can start by cooking in the kitchen. First, let's start by washing our hands. Okay, today when you make ghetto donuts, you're gonna need a few ingredients. The first thing, the star of the show, is actually hamburger or hot dog buns. I know it sounds crazy, but just roll with it. Next, you'll need a couple of tablespoons of white sugar, a fourth of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a couple of tablespoons of liquid vegetable oil. You're gonna need some pancake or waffle batter, and then about a fourth of a teaspoon of vanilla. For your tools, you will need a dish that you can actually fit the bun in. So I just grabbed a cake pan that's in the shape of a heart, but I could have used a pie pan too, but I couldn't find one. And then a small skillet, and you will also need a spatula, which I forgot to put on the table, but you'll see it when we're cooking. Okay, we're ready to start to make these ghetto donuts. They are so good. Okay, so first what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some pancake or waffle batter. I already have some made here. You can check on YouTube I have a video on how to make homemade waffle mix, but you can easily use that powdered stuff that comes in the box. You just add water and stir. That'll work just fine. But I had this already, so I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna pour it in this dish. I would use a pie pan, but again, I couldn't find mine, so you know. I'm gonna pour this in here. I'm gonna use a rubber scraper just to get the extra or the excess off. You're gonna need at least 1 cup of the pancake mix or the waffle mix, and that should be plenty. Now, I know there's vanilla in my batter, but if you don't have vanilla that you made from scratch, like your own recipe, then I would suggest add some to give it some extra flavor. It'll really help. I would just add like a fourth of a teaspoon. So I am gonna pour over. I know this is dangerous because it could easily pour out too quickly, but I'm gonna go slow. I'm gonna sprinkle this around. And I don't have a mixing spoon out, but I'm just gonna use my rubber scraper. And I'm just gonna mix in my vanilla just a little bit. Okay, so you shouldn't see any more brown streaks. It only takes a few seconds. It's okay if your batter's a little lumpy, that's totally fine. Okay, so my batter is ready. Okay, next what I want to do is talk about how to make cinnamon sugar. So what I did is I had 2 tablespoons of white sugar, so I just measured this 1, 2, and I just put it in here. And then you can take some cinnamon, and you need about a fourth of a teaspoon, so I'm just gonna scoop in here. I'm gonna get more than what I need. I'm just gonna shake it back and forth to level it off. I'm gonna pour it into my little dish. And again, I don't have my mixing spoon. That's okay. I'm just gonna stir this together. I have a few sugar chunks in here. That's okay. I'm just mashing it up. You stir it up. Ta-da! There's your cinnamon sugar. You can put all kinds of things on your donut, but I like to use cinnamon sugar. Okay, we are ready to cook. So I'm going to bring the oil to the stove, and that's when we're going to use it because we need our ghetto donuts not to stick to the pan. And like I said earlier, the star of the show, hamburger buns. I have hamburger buns, but you could use hot dog buns because they look more authentic, but we're going to make this work. Okay, let's go to the stove. Okay, we're ready to start making these ghetto donuts. You notice I have my stove on 5, which is about medium heat. My pan's been on for at least 5 minutes, kind of preheating or getting warm. And so now we're gonna put some oil in here. I'm just gonna use like a tablespoon of oil. You can see that. And I'm gonna gently or slowly pour it over my pan. And I'm just gonna pour this in. And I'm gonna rotate the oil around just a little bit to make sure it's evenly coating the bottom. Now, next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prepare my bun. So there is this cute little tool, can you guys see this? It is a cupcake corer, and you poke it in the center of a cupcake and you can fill it up. So we just need to poke a hole in the center of our bun. It's not necessary, but it looks cuter. It looks more like a real donut. But if you don't have one of these around at home, this is the professional way, okay? The more ghetto way would be that you use this is like a citrus or a fruit core, and you can push this into a softer fruit, and these edges will cut through the fruit. You can use this to cut a hole through the center of your cupcake, my goodness, your donut, or you can use this thing to turkey baster, or well, it's not just for turkey, but you can make sure it's clean. And you can take the top off and use this little hole or this opening to cut a hole. So we're gonna do the ghetto way. And I'm just gonna open up my bun. I'm just gonna go in the center, and I'm just gonna twist back and let me hold this. Twist it back and forth. Ta-da! Look at that! It almost looks like a bagel. Okay, and I'm gonna do it with this one too. Okay, we are ready. Now all we have to do is called dip, dip, fry. So it sounds like a dance. I would make up a dance, but I'm not doing that. Okay, so I am going to dip this on one side in my pancake batter or waffle batter. Dip, just gently. And I'm going to dip the other side. I'm going to let some of the extra or the excess drip off. I'm going to put it in my pan. And it should start frying right away. Hey. Okay, I'm going to do the second one. Dip. Dip. This gets a little messy. Okay, and I'm going to get the extra off. Sorry, my hands are in the way. Woo! This is making a mess. And I am frying. Okay, I'm going to take my nice hand candy towel right here and wipe my fingers. Okay, so it is frying. It sounds like it's probably about done. So, or done on the one side. So I'm going to hold my handle. I know you guys can't see me holding my handle. See that? And I'm going to gently flip these over. It should be, you should test to see, is it golden brown on one side? Oh, yes it is. Look at that. Hey. I probably could have cooked this one a little bit longer on that side, and I still can. So as this cooks, when it comes out, I am going to put some paper towel on a plate. I'm going to move my batter over. And then the donuts will go on the plate. And you got one more thing to do, or two more. And you can eat it. So I'm going to take this one out because I think this back one is done. Let me see. Yes, it is. See, it's golden brown under there. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to flip this one back over because it didn't quite cook on that one piece. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. I have my cinnamon sugar here. I have a 1/4 teaspoon. You can just, it's called eyeballing it. You can just kind of look at it and say, yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I can leave it just like that. I didn't even use the whole 1/4 teaspoon. And you can eat it. It tastes like a hot, fresh donut. I could put on Nutella. I could put on jam or jelly. I could put on icing, chocolate syrup, powdered sugar. So anything that you normally would find on top of a donut. If you eat it just plain with no sugar on it, it's going to taste more like fry bread, which is cool, but it doesn't taste like a donut. So that's why you need a little bit of a sugar topping to make it taste like a donut. Okay, I think this one is done. Mama Bear almost burned that. Oh my goodness. I'm going to cut my flame off. I'm only making two because Mama Bear does not need to be eating a whole bunch of extra yummy, delicious goodness. Okay, thank you so much for watching this cooking lesson with Mama Bear. Don't forget, stay and look while you cook. Bye.